Hello, and welcome to a Gold Proving Grounds guide for Unholy Death Knights. These are the talents that I recommend for doing Gold Proving Grounds. The primary one is, of course, Necrotic Plague. This talent is the most important talent, and is the only one that I would really consider direly essential that you have. Glyphs are largely unimportant for Unholy Death Knights, as most of these are fairly utility-based and really don't impact how the Proving Grounds guide goes much at all. I have 663 item level. I'm primarily set up to tank, with Mastery and Multi-Strike being my favorite stats. However, as these stats also drastically boost your Necrotic Plague, they work fairly well for Unholy Death Knights anyways. In Gold Proving Grounds for Unholy Death Knights, the first few waves are fairly simple and straightforward. The first wave has nothing in it that you haven't seen while doing Silk. Simply dot up all the targets and proceed to mow them down. You can, of course, practice kiting the Amber Globes if you need more practice with that, but really it's fairly inconsequential. Simply mow all of the mobs down. Now, Wave 2 has the first new mod that you have to deal with, the Banana Tosser. Now, the Banana Tossers throw out these bananas that, if they hit you, cause you to have a large reduction in your chance to hit targets. This really can kill your damage if you're not careful. Now, there's two ways to avoid it. The way I used right here, which is simply to stay within that circle around the mob, where he cannot actually hit you with the bananas. He will not toss bananas at you if you're within that circle. The other way is to run in circles. The bananas are thrown in your general direction, not directly at you. And so this basically enables you to simply run around and dodge, which is what I'm going to have to do here. As you can see, he's throwing the bananas at me, and I'm running in circles to avoid getting hit by him. Mowing him down, and then swapping back to the Banana Tosser. Always try to get your diseases on him before he gets away from you, as that drastically reduces his HP while you're just running around. And then, of course, after you handle the healer and handle the monkey, you simply kill the Amber Weaver, and the wave is down without too much issue. Alright. As you can see in this wave, you've got another healer, and you're going to have to run in circles to dodge the Banana Tosser again. Simply run in circles, wail on the healer, and down him first. Okay, strafe around, strafe around, strafe around. And as you can see, the Banana Tosser is already almost dead just from applying your diseases to him. Doesn't take too much. And he's down without too much issue. Interrupt the healer and dodge the bananas. Now, this wave also has a brand new mob that you have to deal with, the Illusionary Banshee. These mobs have a short timer above them that if you do not kill them in the duration of that timer, they will explode and instantly fail you on the wave. Now, it doesn't matter how much time you have left here. If the Banshees have their time go out, you will instantly lose. So always swap to them whenever they spawn. Thankfully, they don't have very much HP, so they're not too hard to burn down. Generally speaking, I never empower my ghoul on this wave because it helps a lot to empower it on the second wave. Really, your DPS requirement for wave 5 is not very high. In this wave, I like to use a little bit of a trick. There are two healers, and if you only focus the healers and don't damage the vermin at all, then unfortunately the healers will simply spam heals on each other and you'll never get them down. But if you put your dots on the little vermin instead, this causes the healers to want to heal them, as the healers will prioritize targets that are lower as a percentage of HP, not just how much flat amount of HP they're missing. Once the healers are tricked into healing the vermin, you can simply burn them down easily. If you don't use this trick, they'll just heal each other though, and that could leave you in the never-ending loop of never being able to actually kill them. Go ahead and keep my ghoul empowered, so that I can empower him whenever I need to, which is right now. As you see, this is another wave where you've got to deal with a healer, interrupt that, and you've got the monkey who's going to start tossing bananas at you. And of course there's the banshee that is going to pop up that you have to burn down. And then after, of course, you've burned the healer and the banshee down, swap over to the monkey. I was not successful in getting my diseases on him before he disengaged, but he doesn't have a lot of HP, so you can just burn him down fairly simply anyways. Here's another banshee that's up. Make sure you focus, of course, it down hard. And down it goes. And then, last but not least, clean up the Amber Weaver. I didn't do that wave entirely cleanly. Ideally, you'll want your diseases ticking on everything early. But in this case, it didn't really matter too much. Spread your diseases around, focus the priority targets, and you're good. This wave has the first of the big adds that you've got to deal with, where you have to actually time your sustained DPS. And that's the Illusionary Shah. Now the Shah have a shield on them that drastically reduces the damage they take normally, so don't unload too much on him early. I simply, of course, as you can see, I'm holding onto my Ghoul Empowerment, stacking up my diseases, and getting ready to unload on him. As soon as this shield falls, he will take drastically increased damage, which makes killing him very simple. You see, I'm just simply mowing him down, apply my Soul Reaper, spam Death Coil on him a little bit, watch as he goes down, loses HP, and you mow him down without too much trouble while he's vulnerable. Always try to save your Ghoul Empowerment, have a 15 stack of your diseases, and be ready to just unload with Scourge Strike spamming on him. Alright, this wave is probably the hardest wave that I personally find, because you have to deal with a large illusionary mystic, you've got to have banshees spawning, you've got to kite the freaking monkeys, bananas around. It's just a lot going on. And of course you have to deal with the large Shah that's right here. There's the banshee you got to deal with, mow it down, and you see I'm moving toward the freaking banana tosser, killing him. The Shah is going to empower any second now. Make sure you keep your diseases up. Empower your ghoul right before he becomes dangerous. Grab a Bloodlust and begin to mow him down. Now, throughout these waves, you'll have noticed these Bloodlusts spawning. There's only 2 of them, so be careful not to waste them. You want to use these on wave 9 and wave 10, so you do have to be a little careful not to step on them early. They give you a flat 30% increase to damage, which makes doing these last few waves so much easier. Try not to use them early. Once you get wave 9 down, the final wave is fairly straightforward. There's a large illusionary Shah, apply your diseases, and begin wailing on him. You literally can completely ignore the large illusionary Slayer. You will have to deal with some banshees spawning, but just keep your abilities ready, and it won't be too much trouble. As long as you haven't had to blow your summon gargoyle or anything earlier, this last wave is very simple. Simply stack up your diseases, get ready. There will be a banshee that spawns before he becomes vulnerable. Burn it down quickly. Go back to him. Get ready. Empower your ghoul. Drop your gargoyle right before it goes off, and proceed to beat on him. With all of your cooldowns blowing, the berserking, your Soul Reaper going off if you time it correctly, the mob will drop very quickly, and you'll have plenty of time to finish him off. And as you see, a banshee will spawn another few seconds. If you're not quite done with him, make sure you are ready to swap to that. So, in the end, Gold Proving Grounds is fairly straightforward. Requires the same thing that Silver does. Kite Amber Globs, make sure you interrupt the healer, dodge monkey bananas, otherwise your DPS will drastically reduce if you're not careful and you start standing still. Save your DPS for those big Shah, and of course, kill the banshees the instant they spawn. And you shouldn't have too much issue. Thanks for watching, hope this helps.